What's up everyone, Kevin here with Bullish Bears with another weekly watchlist video for you guys. This week we're going to be covering NVDA, Tesla, Apple, and Meta. We're going to start with the higher time frames, then go down to the lower time frames, find some day trades and potential swing trades. So let's get into it and see what the market's got in store for us. Alright guys, the first stock we're going to be looking at is Tesla. Now, if we're looking at Tesla on a naked chart, we have been creating some lower highs ever since we created some new all-time highs about, let's see, we went from July, then in September we started to create these lower highs, created lower highs over here, but then broke structure, tried to make our way back up, but we unfortunately still failed. We failed this previous high. We are still in a downtrend on Tesla ever since about July, ever since about September created that lower high to confirm that reversal of a trend. With that being said, we are holding these previous lows that we see right here, so I would be targeting some lows, some puts on Tesla. I want to see if bears could continue trend. We had a push lower, some consolidation, and another move lower. So if we try to go long here, we'd be trying to catch a falling knife, and we don't want to do that when we're trading. The trend is our friend until the end of the trend. Now, what I see on this chart is some lower highs, and I also see a few lower lows. We have a lower low right here, a lower low right here. I really want to break this low right here at 205, and then maybe even see 194, 195. And I'm going to throw the zones and levels up here. That way we could sort of break it down to the smaller time frame and look for some levels and some trades. Let's see. First, I'm just going to change this is green. This is a demand zone. So if I'm looking at Tesla right now, this is the hourly chart without extended hours. Whenever I'm doing my technical analysis on equities, I always keep my extended hours off because there's no real market participants there, and I don't really care for gaps and whatnot or what's going on in that pre-market. I want to know what areas are more liquid when the market is opened. So with that being said, we have the key levels 230.83, key zone 223.09 to about 220. Key zone 214 to 210, and then we have a demand zone on the 3-hour time frame down over here around 204. So I would look for potential long positions down around 204, and that would also keep us in a bull trend. That might even be a sign of a reversal on Tesla's downtrend, right? So if we hold this 3-hour demand zone, we would be creating a higher low based off of this previous lower low. Then we would look to maybe even target some higher highs, and that might be a reversal. That might be a great area to buy some Tesla stock around 204, maybe even some call options, maybe some swing trades, or even some leaps if the market wants to stay bullish. Because remember, this past year, the market, NASDAQ, ES, SPY, all of these have been extremely bullish. Great returns, really good stuff. Meanwhile, Tesla the past few months has been in more of a downtrend. So that's what I've got on Tesla, the zones and the levels I'll be watching. Next stock we're going to be looking at is NVDA. Alright guys, when we're looking at NVDA, it's definitely moving in the opposite direction as Tesla in an overall trend ever since July of last year, which is again around when Tesla decided to switch its trend and move more bearish. We had NVIDIA around the same time, pushed a bit lower, then started to create these higher lows, some higher highs. We looked like we tried to push down here, from here to here, from there to there, from there to there. We started to push down lower, but with the market being overall strong, tech and AI being such a huge topic right now and being so profitable, NVIDIA was able to rally from here, create some new all-time highs again, pulled back right to its previous range, and now here we are again sitting at new all-time highs on NVIDIA at 553.46. That is crazy, guys. Year to date from NVIDIA from last year is quite the return. See if we could bring that up. Let's see, it's NVIDIA year to date is, well, last year to date is 270% return on stock. That's not even options, guys. That's purely stock movement. 108 was the lows from about 2 years ago. That is crazy. What a move. I know a lot of people would consider it overextended or overvalued, but quite frankly, seeing how strong of a stock it is and how strong and how really powerful and what an impact that AI and all of these tech stocks have on the future, they're very profitable, and there's really not much in the future to tell us, hey, we should be reversing. The market has been strong and the stocks have been strong as well. So here are some levels and zones on NVIDIA. Let's pull up the lower time frame so we could really take a look. And basically what you guys are going to notice with my zones and levels is a lot of times they just play as ranges, right? Now when we're trading, we have to remember that the market is ranging 80% of the time and trending 20% of the time. So with that being said, finding good levels, areas of interest, support and resistance really gives you the benefit of the doubt, because then you're going to be able to trade that range for 80% of the time, and that 20% trend should become a lot easier. With that being said, what I'm looking for on NVIDIA, seeing how strong we've been moving, I really like this 90-minute demand zone over here at 524. So about the 520 area, we're looking for a key psychological level. And take that long, probably target about 550 again, or maybe even see some new all-time highs, depending on how market structure is. If ES and NQ are also still making some highs, we might not even come down here. We might just break this 553 and see 570, 575 at some point this week. If we look at let's check out the weekly time frame, and again, the more we zoom out, the more clear the trend is. Look how strong this candle was, right? We could be creating a weekly demand zone because we had the basing candle, a rally candle. Now we would just need a rally and continuation. So 575, even 600 really might be seen in the near future for NVIDIA. All right, the next stock we're going to be going over is going to be Meta. Alright guys, just like we did with NVIDIA and Tesla, we're going to be looking at Meta on a naked chart first, so we could just see how price action has been moving, so we can get a feel for what type of position we should be looking for. So looking at the daily time frame, ever since about that July point, just like we looked at NVIDIA and Tesla, we had that pullback for about a month, and then we had a great, nice push. We created some higher lows on Meta, and we created some higher highs as well, showing that the bulls are in control and we're in a bit of an uptrend. However, if we do look in the past few months, or even ever since about October, maybe September, we've sort of been squeezing, right? So price action has been getting a bit tighter. We could see that we're sort of getting tight around here, right? So let's see. So we're almost in a rising wedge, but we are also very close to all-time highs on Meta as well. So I'm going to go into the lower time frame, and I'm going to show you guys some zones and some levels that I'm going to be watching for intraday movement, and really what I'm going to be targeting for day trades as well. So here's the 30-minute of Meta with some zones and some levels. I'm going to actually show us the higher time, not a bit higher, 2 hour. We could look at the 2 hour. So you might be wondering why this is a 30-minute and not a 2 hour. That's because if we look at the time, it's 15:30, which that's 3:30. So the candle's really only 30 minutes. So this is a 30-minute zone. This would be a 30-minute zone. This is a 2 hour zone because it opened at 9:30 and it closed at 11:30. So that is a proper 2 hour zone. That's a zone that I would look to target if we were buying some puts or some shorts on Meta. Now, what I would be looking for on Meta is I would be looking for the lower time frames, and I would be looking for us to start to make some lower highs. The first thing I would want is I would want to use this 15-minute supply zone as an area where I would want to short, or I would even look for us to break the previous swing high at 377.06 and see if we can maybe trap some buyers there, right? So people who are taking breakouts might get trapped because they're taking the break. Then we might reverse and really want to see a move lower. So I would be looking for some type of liquidity grab of 377, and I would like to target with some puts either the 374, because then we would be creating some higher lows to continue the bull trend, or I'd even like that 370 area because that's also a strong area where the market had a very fast move, leaving us with a lot of unfilled orders. There's a stronger 15-minute here than it is a 30-minute. So again, that's a strong area. I would maybe even potentially wait and not play any puts on Meta and see how we react to this 370 zone. If we want to hold here, I would buy some calls and target 375, 380, and so on. And that might even be a swing trade because of how strong the daily time frame was looking and the weekly time frame is looking. One more thing I'll mention with Meta is we are very close to all-time highs at 384. So if we do break and we continue, and again looking at the weekly time frame, we are very strong. Bulls have control. There is almost no reason for us to reject here. We do have a weekly supply zone right here, and I'll extend that so we could see it. But unless we fail it, then that would be rejecting a weekly supply. But I do think bulls have been strong. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see if this rising wedge plays out, or if bulls want to continue with the market staying strong as well. All right, guys, next stock and the last stock we're going to look at is going to be Apple. All right, stop. Apple time. All right, guys, so let's look at Apple. I do like Apple a bit for the bull side. If we do get a squeeze and push above 186, I'd really like to see good volume above 188 to target 190. If we do get above 190, no problem. We do have 192 for a gap fill, right? So that's an area I would look for, and those are about 3 levels right off the bat. Just looking at a naked chart that I would target based off of just price action, understanding key psychological levels, and just, looking at the chart, understanding the chart. So if we could get above 188, and we'll look at a lower time frame too. Let's look at the 30-minute, and I'll show you exactly what I was looking at on that lower time frame with the squeeze. So right now we created these lower lows over here, but now we're creating some higher lows, but we're still creating some lower highs. So because we're creating these lower highs, bears are trying to hold, but because we're creating the higher lows, bulls are trying to step in. Now price has gotten very small, right? Price got rangy, so we're range bound, but at some point this range is going to break to the upside or the downside. So I really do want to see that volume above 187, target 189. 46 is my key level, not a key psych level. If you wanted 190 as a keyhole level would be great. And 191 is also an area of interest that I have as well. This purple level is a 184.67. I liked us to hold that price if we could go long. So that's something I was looking for. Or even if we could reject the bottom wick over here, about 184.79, and do a little liquidity grab there. Because again, guys, the market is going to need liquidity before it makes a move. So we might get a fake out before we get the real breakout. The daily, we have a daily demand zone over here. Right here, we have a daily demand zone. So we might get a drop and then hold in demand. Everybody's going to be going short. We might hold here, create a higher low right here in this zone. And I'll show you guys the zone I'm talking about. Let's just mark it out with the price levels. This is the zone. If we come down, we break, hold the zone, we might bounce and continue higher. So people who were going short are now going to be trapped on the way back up, and the way back up is going to be the real move potentially, right? So we have to listen to what the market says. All we can do in the market, guys, is react. We have no control over the market. Hope you guys enjoyed this week's weekly watch list. Have a great day, happy trading, and have a great trading week, everyone. Take care, hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the community. Peace out.